After Emmanuel Macron won the French presidential election, supporters of the European Union could finally exhale. But that doesn't mean they can breathe easy. Saving the EU, and more urgently the Eurozone, will require radical reform, and that will require compromise from a very wary Germany. From Macron's perspective, the Eurozone needs a joint budget, parliament, and finance minister, as well as greater coordination of tax regimes and social policies. But Germany has rejected all of these reforms before, many times. Germans fear that they'll end up footing the bill for weaker Eurozone economies, which are struggling to achieve growth while adhering to strict debt and deficit rules. Even France, half of the crucial Franco-German engine of European integration, has long underperformed economically and repeatedly violated EU fiscal rules, undermining German confidence in the partnership. But Germany too has broken fiscal rules. Back in 2003, Germany, along with France, let its deficit rise above 3% of GDP in order to create space for growth-enhancing reforms. The two countries then teamed up to avoid facing any consequences for breaking the rules, effectively deflating the Stability and Growth Pact that Germany now invokes against other Eurozone countries. In any case, Germany remains largely resistant to greater Eurozone integration. Its austerity-loving finance minister, Wolfgang Schäuble, has made clear that he sees any Eurozone parliament as having a purely consultative role. Reforms requiring treaty change, he has declared, are not realistic at a time of widespread anti-Euro sentiment. That stance is untenable. Unless steps are taken toward greater integration, the Eurozone will remain vulnerable to shocks, and the ranks of the economically frustrated will continue to grow. All of this will fuel more support for anti-EU political parties. The good news is that German Chancellor Angela Merkel has recently adopted a somewhat softer stance, acknowledging the need for greater integration. The whole world is changing, she declared. That is why Germany is ready to change the treaties. Real progress on Eurozone reform will have to wait until after Germany's general election in September. That gives Macron time to start implementing some of his promised domestic reforms. But if Germany is still holding back on Eurozone integration at the end of the year, the European project, which gained a second wind with Macron's victory, will soon run out of air.